Hello. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I can't help but feel like I'm forgetting something. This isn't a bit, by the way. I'm not like leaning into a bit. I genuinely can't remember if I forgot something. I'm here. My game is even open ahead of time, and I did volume checks. Hello, Hollow. Welcome in. I hope you had a good weekend. Oh, I just made a nice little coffee. Honestly, it was a quick Keurig coffee today. I didn't feel like putting in the effort. But it's a coffee nonetheless. And I was scrolling Twitter, so I usually give myself, that's like my Twitter time. My Twitter time is about probably 10 minutes before stream starts. Dude, I got this ad, and I was like, I don't know if people know about this. I got this ad on Twitter. Let me pull it up. Dude, it's crazy. They made Furby an anime girl. Look, I don't know how I feel about this. I was just scrolling Twitter and I said, what is this? And it was Hey Furby. I thought my eyes had deceived me. This was my very first nightmare as a child. Life really comes full circle. Hey Furby was, I believe, my very first nightmare. Did you have a Hey Furby? Anyone know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, Hey Furby. And it's like, yes? And it was like one of those virtual robotic friends. It was like ChatGPT or Siri before they existed. Instead of saying, Hey Siri, you say, Hey Furby. Yes? Dude, these things were so scary. And now they just turned it into an anime girl. I didn't know you could do that, to be honest. I know nothing outside of this, but I think I'm going to do some digging because I'm very interested. You know, am I in the financial position to purchase a Hey Furby anime girl figurine? Absolutely not. That would be financially irresponsible. But am I just a tad bit curious as to what's going on here? Yeah, and I just didn't have enough time to do it yet. I just didn't have enough time to look. I like Bishojo. I want their Miku and MLP one. Oh, so this is a common thing, huh? I mean, the design's great. Objectively speaking, the design's great. I just don't know if I can get over my nightmares. These things, do they still make Hey Furbies? They used to advertise them on like Disney Channel all the time. All this was my worst nightmare as a kid. And yet I made my parents buy me like 3, and then I would crawl into their bed at night when I would wake up from a nightmare. They terrified me, but they were also so fun. This was the toy for like 2 months when I was a kid. They look very different though. Well, this one certainly doesn't look like how I remember. What do they used to look like? Hey Furby now versus then. Do you think that'll give you something? Wow, they look way different. Oh, they're scarier than I remember. Oh, there's just no life in those eyes. Okay, there's life in the eyes of the new ones. The old ones, oh my God, it looks like they're just gonna take my life. Look up Long Furby. Oh, is this real? I'll pull this up for those who aren't Googling. Oh, it's a dang WebP file. I hate WebP files. Oh, are these official or did someone make these? Oh, that is terrifying. Here. We'll get rid of Hey Furby Anime Girl. And we'll add Long Furb. Dude, this thing is terrifying. Image. Sorry, I don't do this often. I have to make sure I don't, like, show my credit card number. I don't know how I would do that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Long Furby. Dude, what the? They're fan-made. I have to respect it. Complete nightmare fuel, but creative and very impressive. It's a good skill to practice. Is it for, like, practicing, like, sewing? I could see where that would be beneficial. You know, there was a white one that I thought was pretty cool, but it was a WebP file, so I couldn't save it. This one, I think I just got off Reddit. Dude, these things are terrifying. Look at these eyes. Oh my gosh, they're weird. They've got a cute charm to them. They really do. Like, it is objectively cute, but it also is the stuff that I see in my dreams, man. I meant learning to put images up on your stream. Oh. Well, yeah, it is good practice. This thing is. It's got to be sewing anyway, right? That's what that's there for. Holy smokes, man. Should we buy a Hey Furby and play with it on stream? Perhaps. Maybe. I almost deleted myself. Oops. All right, but we're not here to talk about Hey Furby, even though that's what we spent the last 7 minutes doing. No, we're here because we've got a new game. Bum 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 ba da ba ba bum. I'm excited for this one. The music in the menu, I just warning you guys, it kind of bangs. You're gonna be head bobbing. I did have to retweak some of the audio levels because this is technically, it's the first time I've had to do it because all the other games were on the same trilogy package, but this is technically a new game, so all the settings were fresh. So I had to adjust all the settings. So let me know about volume. I get a feeling it's probably a little loud right now, but I do think that when it's not constant, intense music, that it'll be a little bit better. I'm interested in how much deja vu I will have from this case, or from this game, because if you remember, I think I talked about this before. I actually played the very beginning of this game when I was a kid. So I had played through all of Apollo Justice, and I remember, gosh, just small bits and pieces of it. The only thing I remember from this game is, if I'm remembering right, I think one of the cases takes place on an airplane, and that's like all I can remember. But I'm interested if I'm going to see anything and be like, oh, I remember that. But really, I didn't understand the story of Ace Attorney at the time anyway, because all I had played was Apollo Justice. So I don't know what this is going to, do. I don't know anything about it. I just remember the airplane. The second case. And you know what? I think that's where I stopped too, because I was a kid and my attention span was that of a squirrel. So I stopped playing. Now my attention span is that of an intelligent squirrel. We've leveled up a little bit. But I like the music. All right. Title selection. I'm guessing this is just 1 and 2, right? Yeah. New game. This game is a bit slower. I'm wishing you luck. I don't think slower is bad, though. Sometimes I don't mind slower. I'm interested in how they're gonna... Ooh, turnabout visitor. I'm interested in how they're gonna structure the stories without the trials, right? Without courtroom. March 14th. Is that St. Patrick's Day, or did I make that up? To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Is that Von Karma? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. I think it is. No matter what the cost. Okay, maybe not. Wait, that's in Edgeworth's office. He's a gold medalist. That's certainly not Von Karma, but he looks like a badass. I'm a prodigy amongst prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Your cursor. Sorry. Sorry, I'll move the cursor. March 14th, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutors Building, 12th floor hallway. Ooh, we haven't been here before. What's going on, dancing? Welcome in. Von Karma got facial reconstruction. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I did go for the HD art rather than the pixel art. Maybe at some point we'll try the pixel art too, but I figured we'd start with this. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe's been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. So, for those who don't know then, I believe this game takes place between the two trilogies. So this game and then the game following it, Prosecutor's Gambit, take place between the Phoenix Wright trilogy and the Apollo Justice trilogy. I'm happy with HD, it's really nice. I think it looked nice too. I like pixel art, but I thought the HD looked really good. I liked the chibis. I hope Gumshoe's been keeping my office clean as there was a murder in there. The door's unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's familiar. Blood? This will be Edgeworth's worst week of his life. Oh, no. Oh, I like the facial expressions are good. What the? Oh. What's the meaning of this? Gumshoe. Freeze. Oh, he's still in there? Wait, is this? Wait, this isn't the same guy. This guy's bald. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. He's awfully calm. He's so cool. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. I don't know if I'd be saying that with someone's gun pointed at my back, but that's just me, Edgeworth. You're way braver than I. Oh, he's gone. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 a.m. Oh my gosh, the poor dude doesn't even get to go to bed after his flight. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Wait, this is cool. Oh, here's Gumshoe. He's got a lot of energy for 3 a.m. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. Whoa, I'm just not used to seeing Gumshoe from this angle, I guess. I usually only ever see him head on. This is Dick Gumshoe, a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However, look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're getting real burned up over this whole thing. So my first initial thoughts go to, why was the prosecutor in Miles Edgeworth's office? And why was this guy with him? And also, how did they get in? And also, what is this guy doing? This crime was committed in my office, so it's my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? That's what I was wondering, Edgeworth. Dustin for Prince? I guess so. He's doing a real thorough dusting. Crime scene, my office. Oh, it's like Clue. Is it really a coincidence that the murder took place in my office? Is Edgeworth the main character of this game? Yes, he is, and the following investigations game. We'll play through the majority, if not all, as Miles, I believe. Ooh. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in my mind. I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? Not really, especially because of this. The key to your office. Oh yeah, this is the first baby case that's actually gonna feel like a baby case for me because I don't know all the controls yet. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use this logic? Baby meaning tutorial case? Yeah. Yeah, we call the tutorial cases baby cases. Well, because they're supposed to be easy, but honestly, sometimes they're a little difficult. First, I recall the information we've gathered with Q, and then I connect them together with T. Huh? Now to use Q and recall the facts. Okay. Ooh! This is cool. Crime scene, my office, and I have an office key. Oh, so I can put them together like a puzzle. That's pretty sweet. For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. And then you combine them. And then what? Oh, T. This is pretty sweet, right? For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. That's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? The killer's goal. Why did this happen in my office? What was he after? Nick has the Magatama, and Edgy has logic. Edgy's got his brains. Unfortunately, we don't have brains. Well, we're Edgeworth now. Unfortunately, Phoenix doesn't have enough brains. He needs the Magatama. That's so funny. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Thank you, Gumshoe. Thank you very much. Oh, there was a health bar at the top left, wasn't there? Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, yeah, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Our Ace Attorney investigation. Bum, bum, bum. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply use space when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use T, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. That game series would go hard. Hang on. Hang on. They need an ace investigator spinoff where we play as Gumshoe. That would be so sick. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Alrighty. Does he follow me around? Aw, he follows me around. That's kind of cute. Hello, how is it, T? You called, sir? Well, I mean, I technically called, but you never left my side, man. So they call it something like Ace Attorney investigation. Wait, you're right. Okay, but you don't play as Gumshoe, or maybe you do, and we're not there yet. Is there anything you noticed that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe? Just that I rushed over here as soon as I heard there was a murder in your office, sir. The investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. Were you the one that found the body, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately, upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked. And what awaited me inside was this whole messy affair. That's rough. Even though I left the security of this room to a certain detective. Sorry, sir. Loki, I'd pay a lot of money for that, for Ace Investigator. Or maybe it'd be like not Ace Investigator, like okay Investigator. Heartwarming Investigator. I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective. Of course, sir. Examine anything and everything. By checking various things out, we can gather all sorts of evidence and information. You can see this evidence we've collected with E. For information and leads, it's Q. Great job, sir. Deductive reasonable. Deductive reasonable is the way to go. Okay. Yep. No. We'll give him that one. Edgeworth, he was close enough. All right, let's check out this gun here. Oh. Space. Gumshoe told me only 13 times. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. Why wouldn't they take it with them? I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? I was issued the exact same model, I think. Interesting. Detective, I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. I've never seen Gumshoe take out a gun ever. So it's the same type of revolver as the one used by this precinct's detectives. You know, it kind of looks like the one Von Karma had, right? Found at the crime scene, same model as the precinct detectives use. They even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up, ready for you when I got back. I figured we could play a few games. I bet Edgeworth, at least, is pretty good at chess. He strikes me as the kind. He let Pearl look at his gun once? Oh, I don't remember that. Oh, you know what happened, though, is now that I finished the Phoenix Wright trilogy, I was able to, I'm able to go back and watch other people play. And actually, last night, a VTuber that I watch was playing through it, and she had just gotten to the final case of the third game. So I'm watching her playthrough of it. There's a lot of foreshadowing. There was some really cool stuff, and I'm like, ooh, attention to detail I definitely missed, but now that I knew what to look for, they put a lot of care into that final case. That was really good. And I was like, oh, I didn't even remember that, but they like hinted at it so discreetly. It's so fun. I finally get what it feels like to be on the other side of it. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve the case, though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Whoa! What do we have here? I think I've seen one of these before. A wallet? Oh, a police badge. Hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinky-dink. Let's take a look inside. Buddy Faith. Sorry, Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective just like you. Hear that, Gumshoe? You better watch your back. According to his badge and ID, Buddy Faith was a precinct detective. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. I'm cutting off the words a little bit, aren't I? This is probably the best I can do unless I want to... Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Okay, that's making my head hurt whenever I look over. That didn't last long. We'll go right here, maybe. I think that's probably good. Just take edgy. Now to calmly use some logic to figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Let's see here. There's blood. Oh, now I'm in the victim spot. Okay, that we'll play around with it. We'll figure something out. Okay. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Coroner's fine, you're reading it. True. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. It's the safest way I know to keep track of it all. If you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. I could learn something from you, Edgeworth. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press E to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I also keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Is this the organizer? The real question, Edgeworth, is what color is your math folder and what color is your science folder in your organizer? Proof of my what? The prosecutor's badge is so much cooler. Dude, the defense attorneys get screwed. This thing is sick. Are you serious? Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found around 2:05 a.m. Science is green and math is? Math is red, right? Math is red. Science is green. English is yellow. Boom, 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 boom. These are real badges, by the way? Wait, really? Like in real life? Well, then even in real life, I think the defense got the short end of the stick. This thing's sick as hell. I'd be a prosecutor too. A detective in the precinct, and then the homicide detective. Oh, in Japan, that's what they look like. Oh, get out. That's pretty sweet. All right. So we've already examined the abdomen. Oh, your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. What's this adding to my logic? My files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, oh, I forgot to water my flowers. Oh, they're probably dead. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. Well, thanks, buddy. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Half a day? Does he have a life? The wiki page for the badges in Japan links to Ace Attorney in the See Also sections. That's pretty sweet. I don't believe it. I packed those files on these shelves so tight that not even an earthquake could make them fall off. But just look at them. Do they have like is the design the same? Like, do they have the same scale, the scale of justice on the defense one? Because I think it has that. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all. A problem, to be sure. Well, once the investigation's over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. So it doesn't look like there's anything else here. So I wonder, should I be... Can I not look at that top part? I already checked this earlier, but it never hurts to take another look. Oh no, I was gonna try and see these bloody handprints, but I think that's something else. So if I want to put these pieces of the puzzle together... Whoa! Okay, we'll do a little more investigating, and then I want to try to start putting the puzzle together. I think that's sick. Okay. Watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir. That killer is going to pay this tea set. You're really mad over this. The tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. It costs more than your whole month's paycheck. Well, I don't think that's saying much, to be honest. It changes over the past decades a bit, but that's the general design. Dude, that's so cool. I did not know that they were based off of the real-life versions. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. Got that. Ooh, who remembers the shield? It's your trophy, the Knight of Prosecutors, right? Dude, that's crazy. King of Prosecutors, and it's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, my Edgeworth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Edgeworth is very cool for it being 3 in the morning. I would be like, no one talk to me. I'm going to look at the evidence. We're going to talk about it in the morning after we all get some sleep. But he's just like, nah, you know what? Gumshoe, come on in. Let's have a goof around. Well, it's a good thing my Steel Samurai doll was spared any harm. He does love this thing. Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again? Get this, Gumshoe. There's a samurai. His armor? Steel. Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai. And his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like Pink... I just can't get over that this is all coming out of Edgeworth's mouth. Pink Princess, warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and the Nickel Samurai, along with the deluge of merchandise and even a new stage show gives it presence. You sure know a lot. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy? Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. And that conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation. He's still dusting for fingerprints over here. I think you got them all, guy. I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa. That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir. Detective, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest. It's his special interest, as he should have special interests. You're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard to be a real trooper to the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. Oh, I can talk to this guy. How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Yeah, I can tell you've been doing it to the same spot for the past 15 minutes. Well, I never. He doesn't even want to talk to me. You're going to give me, Miles Edgeworth, the cold shoulder, huh? I'll remember this. I'll remember this. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet, there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Is he hitting on me? Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. I don't know. I feel like I looked around everything there was. Oh, I did not look at my desk. It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tiny that it looks newer than when I first bought it. That thing's so polished it makes mirrors jealous. Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, Detective. Did he dust and polish my desk? My job is to protect your office, sir. I don't know if it is, Gumshoe. I think your job is to investigate crime scenes. And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred. That's harsh, sir. I have to admit, the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay. Nor should you. He's trying his best. All right, let's use some of this logic, shall we? Okay, so what's the goal here? We have to put two pieces of the puzzle together. My files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. Oh! According to his badge and ID, Buddy Faith was a precinct detective. And the second part of the puzzle is that the revolver is the same model as those used by precinct detectives. So the murderer probably got his hands on Buddy Faith's gun somehow. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now. Excuse me, pal. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. He did get it swiped from him. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Victim's revolver data jotted down in my organizer. It can be assumed that this gun is the murder weapon. It was issued to the victim. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look real carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the arrows to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use Q and E to zoom in and zoom out to get the nitty-gritty. Okay, great, because we did so well at this kind of stuff during the Gantt case. Zoom in. The little horsey? Oh, here we go. To think that it's so easy to take a life with just the pull of a trigger. You know, I can't ever see myself really liking guns, but I love the ones they use at track and field meets to start races. To take off before it's fired. Everybody always ends up following your lead. To chase you down for a false start, detective. Now that you mention it, even when I finish first, I always wind up in last place. How early is Gumshoe jumping the gun, man? I always forget about these parts. I like these parts. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be examining for, though. Oh! How many bullets are in the chamber? Can we see? Ah! Doesn't Gumshoe have a gun? He does. He just said he doesn't like to use it, though. It scares him. It looks like only one round was fired from this. So the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Now, wait a second. Hang on. If that's the case... No, it was a different guy. I was going to say... The murderer killed someone, but then there was also a shot fired when we entered, so there'd be 2 bullets missing. However, I do think the guy that shot at us might have been a different person. So I don't know if that theory's going to track. We have no proof for now, but that's a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to... Jim! Who the heck is Jim? Oh. Wait a second. This guy looks familiar. Why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you all right? Don't touch me. Leave me alone. Just let me be. Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation's still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a blood-stained suit, pal. This is... What's the saying? The real culprit always returns to the scene of the crime. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. Jacques Portsman. Jacques? We're going with Jacques. Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here with my partner in crime busting. Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, that is correct. Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim. Wow. Talk about trying to just throw anything out there and seeing what sticks. Awfully suspicious, Mr. Portsman. Don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, all right? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them, and only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth's been overseas on a business trip the whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So Gumshoe did it. So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means, actually. So it was you, then. You're Jim's killer. No way, pal. You've got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Why does this guy got it? Again, I must remind you, it's 3 in the morning. You can probably take the gold medal off. I don't like this guy. He gives me bad vibes. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation's only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? All right, I get the point. You're right. My mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call it a truce and work together, all right? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? What's he trying to do? What would a handshake do? I feel like this is suspicious. I don't want to shake his hand. A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on, then. It's your room, after all. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir! Oh, so he'll stop dusting for fingerprints for this guy. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. What? This is really weird. I'm gonna be so honest, dude. If you're trying to come across as compassionate, this is the exact opposite way to do it. I should probably give them some space. I don't know if we should. This is weird. I mean, he also does not care because he is the murderer, but whew, he's not doing a good job at taking the target off his back. Can I not talk to him? Oh, I can. Mr. Portsman, a word if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see. It'll be for the both of us. Now then, you wanted to talk to me about something? No, that's all right. I still feel like I'm interrupting their one-sided conversation. Will you talk to me now? Nope. Gumshoe will. Oh my gosh, this guy needs absolute silence. This picture's too important to mess up. Oh, this guy does not like me. I don't know what I did to him. I'll leave the man to his art. Well, in that case, do I have to put together any more pieces? Is there anything else? The killer's goal, signs of a struggle are the only things I have. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? And my files are a mess. If I could find something to show that there wasn't a struggle. Will this guy talk to me now? Do you have anything to report? Nothing out of the ordinary. But there's something out of the ordinary right in front of his eyes. I wonder what else I haven't seen yet. Da, 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 da. We've already checked. Oh, we haven't checked this. Your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well. They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? Wait, this is the jacket that he wore in the Dahlia Hawthorne case? That's crazy. I didn't know that. What if they shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There's also a giant contradiction right in front of us. Really? Is there a contradiction? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. Oh, I'm starting to sound a lot like him. Yeah, I wonder who he's talking about. I have my own methods, and I'll conduct this investigation my way. When a scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press T with conviction. Oh! And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. Oh, take that! This is how I do things. Only one shot fired. Oh, I was right. I was just ahead of the game. Eureka! Now, hang on. No. That is not what I was... Eureka! That is not what I was expecting, Edgeworth. I was expecting like a powerful, take that! Eureka! You know what? I'm all for it. It's 3 a.m. We're all probably a little crazy right now. This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary, my dear gumshoe. 2 shots were fired in this room. Eureka! The first felled the victim. And the second felled this frame. That's right. However, this gun was only fired once. That's true too, which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Another handgun? Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play here? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yeah. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, it's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Talk about dusty. What's in here? What do we think's in here? I'm trying to think if it's something that we would know. Probably not, right? I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it every once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd kept it clean for you, sir. Does this Steel Samurai trading cards? Imagine. Edgeworth's a massive TCG nerd, huh? Me too, Edgeworth, me too. Do you also collect the HoloLive TCG, Edgy? So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have the knowledge of their existence. So what's inside? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it. Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. Each prosecutor has a secret safe in their office. Only they know of them. Trial evidence use. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, if they knew that there was a safe here, I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least some evidence of a struggle to try and get in. Oh, the guy mentioned that he needed to win a case, so I'm wondering if there's some sort of evidence in here. I never knew there was a hidden safe back here. Well, if detectives knew about them, then they wouldn't be so secret now, would they? Are there any other secret hidden things in this room? Yeah, let me tell you, Gumshoe. Let me list them all out for you. Even if there were, it would defeat the purpose of them being hidden if I told you. So don't bother looking for them. So there's no, like, hidden cameras around? And what if there was? It's nothing. Gumshoe, have you been lounging on my couch? Do I even want to ask what he's been doing in my office while I've been away? The number pad. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it. But not on the keypad itself. You there, forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this? Could you please stop photographing whatever's going on over there and come dust this area for fingerprints, please? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. All of the fingerprints on this have been wiped clean off. Interesting. And so it automatically updates. Secret safe data updated in my organizer. Okay, I got you. As I thought, it appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly play connect the dots with the information we have. This is cool. I like this. It's a very different change of pace to the investigations in the other games. This is really cool. Okay. So we got 4 things to go through here. The killer's goal, wiped fingerprints, another handgun, and signs of a struggle. I'm wondering... could there have been another gun at play here? Okay, so there's two routes I could go with this. Signs of a struggle. I don't think this is the route, but it could be the case that there were 2 guns, right? And there was a sign of a struggle, and that's when one gun fired, and then the murderer or whoever it was used another gun to shoot me. Or to shoot my jacket. Or, and I think this is probably a little bit better, the killer's goal, what was the killer after, and wiped fingerprints. Eureka! I believe I figured out what the murderer was after. What is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe. Making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. Okay. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Oh! The culprit tried to open my safe. Was the killer's motive theft? And does that change anything? Files are a mess. And another handgun. I have a feeling this is like a tutorial case, so it probably wouldn't send me here if this wasn't where it wanted me to be, right? But I don't know if either of these really go into supporting theft. My files are a mess, pointing to a stroke. Maybe they were trying to dig out some information. I'm just surprised if this is supposed to be a safe for evidence. Why didn't the prosecutor just have his own safe? Why would he need to come in here and break into mine? There's nothing in there, like Edgeworth said. Unless he thought it was money, but he's a prosecutor. He should know. Alright, my files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. Or another handgun. Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun at play here? I'm gonna go with signs of a struggle. Eureka! Did it work? It did! There is a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. You mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. I doubt it'd be a petty theft case. Oh, so maybe he thinks that I put the files in the safe then. Because you're right, it's probably not. I don't think he would need to do that. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library. Yeah, sure. Let's give that a try, detective. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And? So what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. Interesting. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. Get it together, Gumshoe. Lock in, man. It's 3 a.m. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. There's 2 sets of handprints, right? That could be the... I mean, also that the books were down, like these books are bloody, but I'm going to go with the fact that there's 2 sets of handprints. Say the line. Oh, when does he say Eureka? Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Oh, that's cool. Okay. What about the way the hands are facing? Oh, that could be it too. Wait. So what if we go back? Oh, yeah. He's doing a handstand on that. What the heck? The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot. There are prints on the floor, too. Those must have been made when unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor. I'm gonna examine all this before I try and deduce anything. I put them all back, just as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. I feel like the connection's obvious, though, between your evidence and these prints. You think so? Let's deduce, then. Is this spot somehow connected? Oh! Well, because the prints were wiped, so maybe they got blood on the keypad, right? Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. I'm gonna go with the keypad. Eureka! Eureka! This is clearly where the contradiction lies. I don't really see what's so wrong with that spot. You don't understand. You see, therein lies the contradiction. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, it'd be nice if you'd just admit when you're wrong. Edgeworth's like me. He's just like me. That wasn't a mistake. No. It's not that bad, right? I was just keeping you on your toes, Hollow. Wait, really? Is it that? Hang on. We didn't examine, maybe we had to do it down here. It appears that the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot. So that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. Oh, there's a bullet hole down here. Wait a second. This is the baby case. Take baby steps. You're right. Easy and slow. Nice and easy. Wait a second. Why would there be a bullet hole this low to the ground? So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim. For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. All right, let's look at our logic. What if, okay, so what if I deduce at the bullet hole spot? What options does it give me? Is this spot somehow connected to any evidence I hold? Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. I feel like the bullet hole is too low on the ground, right? Am I crazy? I'm going for it. Eureka! We're gonna have to learn how to save scum in this game. Wait, okay, but please hold. We're gonna have to open a save state. I like the, what is it, VFX? The sound design in this game. All right. I mean, it can't be that hard. 12-year-old me figured it out at some point. Maybe I Googled it. Oh, I can examine the victim. The killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf. Oh, his back was to the bookshelf. Did you click the right evidence? No. No. The blood on this guy's pants proved that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. Not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, so that's why his hands were there. Because his back was to the bookshelf. And if his back is to the bookshelf, why was he killed in my office? Each prosecutor has one issued to the victim and believed to be the murder weapon. I don't... I'm trying to think. So, I always thought it was weird that they left this gun behind. Because why would they leave behind evidence? Why wouldn't they take it with them? But what if this wasn't actually the murder weapon? What if this was just the phony gun that they used to shoot my jacket? And they didn't actually get it in a struggle with the victim. I still have something to connect the bloody... You think? I mean, I got this photo of him. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The prosecutor's bad. This wasn't good. It's one of these. It's got to be one of these two. I want to get it right. So, I'm trying to picture. His back is to the bookshelf. Oh, wait. Okay. No. I got it. Hear me out. So, his back is to the bookshelf. He's got his hands here, and he's resting his hands on the bookshelf, right? The bullet through his abdomen. That's why the bullet's so low. That's why it's a problem, but we didn't point that out before. But if he was just standing up here, was killed, and then slumped down, the bullet would be higher up. Are you able to just connect that picture to the hands? I'm going to try. I think that's it. Oh. Oops. Oh, not the chessboard. Not the chessboard. I want to go back to this. There we go. So, it's the hands. And it's the picture. Eureka! No, it's not. Okay, then it's the bullet hole and it's the picture, right? It's got to be the bullet hole in the picture then. Because again, it's like went clean through his abdomen. It just doesn't make sense that it's so low to the ground. Eureka! There we go. There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. We were on the right track. We just couldn't figure out how to present it. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, after getting it wrong 3 times, Edgeworth has got to lean off the cockiness here a little bit. Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or laying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The position of the body, the position of the handprints, or the order of the files? What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The faulty assumption. I don't think it's the position. I feel like it's the order of the files, right? Because it is a bit odd that it goes 1, 2, 3, 0. Wouldn't 0 be file? Edgeworth is a very organized guy. I just feel like he would have the zeros above the ones. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The order of the files. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the file are wrong, sir. Oh. Yeah. See here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they're organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they're arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. So that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Oh! They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? Throw that into my mind, my brain up here, the old noggin. Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder, so time to give it another look. As I suspected, the bullet hole's now where it should logically be, and we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice. There are many things the killer did that just don't make any sense, but to figure out the whys, we need more information. I think it's really funny that he's talking about this. He's like, yeah, this dang killer, this guy's not making any sense. Meanwhile, he's like right next to us. This guy's real dumb, whoever this killer is. Imagine we catch him just because he's... just because Portsman is like, well, actually, I think the killer is a pretty smart guy. I think he might be a little misunderstood. This. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? It does. Gumshoe. I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Portsman's trying to frame him. Indicative of criminal activity, indeed. Wait! There's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, say something. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Do you think that while Portsman was doing his sob story with Buddy, that he wrote this after the fact? Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? One of the files that were written up on in blood was stolen by the culprit. FG, ABCDEFGH. It's file H. So what's in file 0H then? Oh! Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Man, it sure is nice to not be on the receiving end of that line. Yeah, let's make him show us some proof. I like being on this side of the stand. I get to point my finger at whoever I want. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude, and there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. I don't think you ever do that. Phoenix is always the one cross-examining. Hang on. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. How do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Might as well, might as well. All right, first I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer with E and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply use T, but that's old news. But it's not like there's going to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct. And at those times, I need to press the witness with Q. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. You know, it's funny. I don't know when I did it, but I'm picking up a pen and I'm waving it around. I really do feel like a prosecutor right now. I got my legs kicked up. I'm waving my pen around. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Ooh, it's like a showdown. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it'll be his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer? I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe's the culprit here. I'll find the flaw in this man's logic. I feel like Portsman just had to lie low. And he is making himself look way too suspicious right now. And I'll expose it with credible evidence. Rebuttal. Ooh. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Press. Hold it. Hold it. That's what I'm talking about. That remark I know. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim's the perfect name for my companion. Jacques and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jacques and Buddy just sounds different. It sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Alright, maybe his real intent was theft. Hey! Are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? Cursor? Do I have a cursor on the screen? Sorry. I can move it off. I don't know how I keep it on there. I never had that problem before. It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. It's like a gnat in the room. I was always that kid in class too who, if the teacher put on a movie and they kept their mouse cursor on the screen, I would be like, teacher, can we move the mouse? So I get it. Trust me when I tell you. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life's getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals a day, pal. Alright, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but still it's 3. Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. I need to see my evidence more. That's when you moved the body that was in front of the bookshelf. Hold it! And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway, thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. By judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal. There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Sure. Not you do. Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective is the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for the game-finishing Spike. And it'll be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. Hold it! Are you saying that those letters were intended for you? Yup. Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner. Looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. He's yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters. What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit my logic is perfectly sound? Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in this logic, a gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Now to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence. All right, I think I know where this contradiction is. Thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. But the problem here is that aren't these files now in the wrong place? They should be higher up too. These files should be with the other O files or the other 0 files that we moved to the top of the bookshelf. One of the files that were written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit. Is this right? Or is there something else? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. I feel like this is probably where I present it. I'm going for it. Objection! Objection! I must object to your line of logic. And which part do you have an objection to? It's, well, stay cool, Mr. Edgeworth. You're no good when you're all flustered. The detective's right for a change. Oh, okay, so it wasn't that. Calm down, Miles. Listen carefully and think everything through a bit more rationally. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. I feel like I've noticed a contradiction. Really? Let's see again. You stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it'll be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. Hold it! It's kind of obvious looking at the evidence, is it? I pressed the wrong button. Boom, boom, Alright, let's take a look at our evidence again. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at around 2:05 a.m. Issued to the victim and believed to be the murder weapon, only one shot fired. Each prosecutor has a safe in their office, and only they know of the safe. The prints were wiped. One of the files that were written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit. Is it obvious? I'm focused on the books and the bloody messages on them. Right. You didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it'll be by his final words. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was like. Oh! It's not that he couldn't not notice the bloody letters because a book is missing. So he would have had to have taken the book. And thus he would have known about the letters. That makes sense. Right? That makes sense to me. Objection! Nice! Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Yo, you're joking. I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Oh, I like the music. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spine. It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters and the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half of an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. So how did this idiot do it? This fool. What? This guy deserves to be caught. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Oh my gosh. Which means... what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman. Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Meh. You win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. But everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. Oh? What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. Whoa. That's absolutely right. And I acknowledge your innocence. So then what are we getting at here? Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Maybe it's because he keeps doing that with his jacket. Can you get on with it, guy? Well, I was thinking. Did you know there's one other person with the key to this office? He's going to try and pin it on me, isn't he? One other person. Hey, you there! Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? Oh, it's not Edgeworth. Lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? Who is this? I believe she needs no introduction. I've called upon it. Ms. Maggie Bird? Maggie? I love her outfit. I don't know how she keeps getting looped into murder cases, but I love her outfit here. Detective Gumshoe, sir? Maggie. Sorry, Gumshoe. We'll clear things up after this. We'll make sure that she knows it wasn't you this time. Ms. Bird is a security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. Hi, Maggie. Unfortunate circumstances we find ourselves in yet again, but let's clear this up and maybe get some brunch tomorrow or something. What? If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Ms. Bird. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was... Don't come shoot down. Actually, I'm going to have to stop you right there, buddy. You know, for all these cases, Gumshoe has never once been the one on trial. Even Edgeworth has been, but never Gumshoe. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So, yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. I understand you're full of crap. That girl's the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Are we doing this again? Let's go. I like this. It's pretty obvious that Ms. Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Ms. Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. That seems like a stretch, man. I don't know. So you're saying she used the master key. Master key data jotted down in my organizer. This can open every office door. Its use is controlled by security staff. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? Not in the slightest, actually. That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. What sport do we think he plays? I feel like he's kind of got that tennis look to him. Maybe it's the headband. I could see him as a tennis player. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Ms. Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. All of them. He plays every sport. This guy screams tennis player, no? It's pretty obvious that Ms. Bird snuck into your room using the master key. Hold it! Hold it right there, Buster. Are you sure Ms. Bird is the only member of security who could have used the key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Ms. Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to. What's that supposed to mean? I love her outfit. I feel like we only ever see Maggie in some type of uniform. What's that supposed to mean? Moving on, I'd hate to get this sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Telling lies, Maggie Bird? Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Ms. Bird out? Absolutely. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Ms. Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Ms. Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsmouth, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir. Objection! Oh, that's his objection. If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Huh, a likely story. And where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal. Trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Ain't that the truth? Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsmouth says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence point toward a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. Her intent from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery. I might be able to stop him right here, actually. No, I thought that this was going to have information that it's only evidence in there, so why would he be going through for theft? But I don't think that that's the case. We'll press him on. Hold it! I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery. However, glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe, good thinking! Asking for my opinion on the matter, I wasn't. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence? I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door... Hold it! I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. It was just a theory, one hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Ms. Bird from the very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make that face. See, there goes the truth, running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can catch up to it. I don't think you're catching my drift. But we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand when I say that since she's the only one who could have opened your office door, then that leaves only Ms. Bird as our prime suspect. I like to imagine that the two police officers that are in the office as we're doing this song and dance are sitting on the sofa with like popcorn. They're like, you catch that? Did you catch that part? It's not the detective, it's the security guard. And the other guy, he's got like his hot dog in his hands, right? And he's like, I've been saying it's that dang prosecutor the whole time. Hold it! Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know, I have never made a spare, so what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. On top of which, she knows our good detective. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to just put the name on there. Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? He's been on some pretty high-profile cases. Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breath, you know. for when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force. I will have you know that he is on quite a bit of high-profile cases, and only I'm allowed to make fun of Detective Gumshoe. You keep his name out of your mouth. Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course not. That's hogwash. Phew. Don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Making it all that much more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe? I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence. I would love to, but first we should listen a bit more and digest what he's saying. And press him for more information. I love his stutters when he lies. Edgeworth's, it's like he's so cool, calm, and collected, but the man does not have a good poker face. Her intent from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery. I think that I have to present here because I think that this is what was added after we pressed Maggie, right? In that case, from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say that the motive was thievery. I mean, I kind of agree though. Is there anything that disproves thievery? No, I don't think that's where the lie is. It's pretty obvious that Ms. Bird snuck into your room using the master key. If Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Ms. Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, making it all that much more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. No. Let's see. Pretty obvious that Ms. Bird snuck into your room using the master key. Let's press him here again. I want to hear what Maggie has to say. Are you sure Ms. Bird is the only member who could have used this master key? There's only one person on the staff at this time of night, and that's her. Isn't that right, Ms. Bird? That's true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. You know? I have not pieced it together yet. I'm low-key stumped. Wasn't able to. What's that supposed to mean? I discovered the master key was missing around 1 a.m. And what do you mean by missing? As in it wasn't anywhere in the security booth. The killer must have stolen it. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it. Is there a way for me to text skip? Yes, this is what I want. I hope that this doesn't skip the dialogue. All I want is for me to press spacebar again. You mean her motive? Yes, this is what I wanted. I want to be able to click through if I already did something. Didn't we already establish it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft, but I'm done taking blows. Oh, we can't get Maggie to testify again? I guess I'm just thinking, like, what would she steal? No, I don't. That's the thing. I don't really know. I wish I knew what the files were. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. One of the files that were written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit. But Maggie has no interest in that. I wonder if that's where we're supposed to present. Her intent from I think it's this. I think it's this. Keep thinking about the two locations. Why would Maggie need to steal a file from my office? It doesn't make any sense. She's just a security guard. I'm gonna try it. Fingers crossed. It would behoove you to take a good look at this. I see it, but I fail to see how it has anything to do with me. You're not at the top of your game today, are you, Mr. Genius Prosecutor? Okay, I had a long day, man, and I'm a little hungry. Sorry. I can't allow him to set the pace here. I must remain calm. What else would she try to steal? I don't know. Money? The gun? Wait. Maggie, if she's security, I don't know if I'm on the right path here, but if Maggie's security, wouldn't she already have her own gun? So why would she need to steal the victims? I mean, I guess using her own gun would plant evidence is what he would come back with. So it's probably not that. From the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say it was thievery. Not sure that's the right path. Fair. I don't think it is either, to be honest. If Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. Can I put him? Can I present his profile? On top of which, she knows our good detective, making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
Hold it!
I concur that the culprit's motive appeared to have. Glad to hear that with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe. I see, and then I don't get anything. Portsman keeps mentioning two things that have been messed up. What are those, and are there any contradictions of them being mentioned? Let's see. Two things, right? The two things are the messed up shelves and the wiped down safe. Wait! Hang on. My brain's braining. My brain is braining. Maggie wouldn't know about the safe. Because only prosecutors know about the safe.
Objection!
Let's go. Okay, it took us a second, but we got there. You need to eat before you sing. I actually, believe it or not, I did eat. It just wasn't I ate, it's like a fucking school lunch, bro. I ate pizza bagels, mini pizza bagels, and mashed potatoes. That was my dinner. So I'm going to go have some Cookie Crisp after this, I think. A little late night snacky. Do you wish to continue insisting that Ms. Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. Well, that may be. You must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. Tater tots, and I love tater tots. It's that kind of day. It's a Monday. You just got to get through it, you know? Easy and quick. That's my Monday mentality. The existence of which safe is only privy to prosecutors. Got him. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then, are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? I mean, I'm not proposing it. You're the one that just offered up that bit of information, Mr. Portsman. Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses. What made you? What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew. about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? I bet his metal isn't even real gold. I bet he painted it. I wouldn't be shocked. Oh, I just saw the mouse. We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. That seems problematic. Then that means, yeah, I know. I had only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. Well, then who killed the victim? That still doesn't solve that mystery. And, oh, he's trying to pin it on me. You were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Ms. Maggie Bird. Oh, no, he's still pinning it on Maggie. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing's going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Well, yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I could never do something like that, not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us, nonetheless. Unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. This guy's still dusting for prints. Dude, I think we're good, man. I think we figured it out. I don't know if you have to keep dusting. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out of my office? See yourself out, dude. You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You're all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. Is he petting him? Or what are you doing? But, sir, he's finger wagging. We have no choice but to accommodate his request for now. Ha! Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? He thinks he's got away with it. How does the mouse keep getting back on the screen? Save your progress? Yes. Yes. How much time we got? We're coming up on 2 hours. We're coming on 2 hours. We just finished the big chunk, which is probably mostly a tutorial. I think I'm going to call it on that. Is that okay if I call it on that? I do really like this, though. So much so that I will probably run some back-to-backs. I don't know if it'll be next week, but I would like to sprinkle some in. This is fun. It's a nice... This is exactly why I went with investigations instead of going into the Apollo Justice games right away, because I was like, it's been about a year and a half. Let's try and switch it up a little bit. And this is cool. I really like the piecing the puzzles together to present things. I think that's pretty fun. You wouldn't finish otherwise? I figured. I got that sense. I figured this was a good starting point. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. No, this was very fun. This was a good one. I'm going to go eat some Cookie Crisp. Thanks you for streaming. I'm going to go eat some Cookie Crisp. Let's see. It is Wednesday. We are running Silent Hill. If you are interested, we're going back into Silent Hill. And then Thursday, we're running a little bit of Overwatch, and then I will have the schedule out for Sunday. I'm working on a couple of long-form videos. They won't be ready probably for a couple more weeks, but I hope you guys will keep an eye out for those. They'll be on the schedule when they're ready as well. Eat real food. Cookie Crisp is real food. All right, I'll eat a banana too. How's that? I love bananas. They're an easy food. I'll eat a banana too. Cookie Crisp and a banana. That's real enough. That's real enough for me for today. All right, that's going to do it. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. Whether you are just waking up in the morning, stopping by on your lunch break, or hanging out after dinner, thanks for settling in, having a cup of coffee with me. I will see you Wednesday for Silent Hill. See ya!